Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Precise Geographical Center of the universe. We call it the ITC compound here at Watkins Glen. I'm sitting here with Scott Leader, who is the driver development coach slash full-time driver in the series, and you've been out there for the last session. How's the track?
Well, the track is it's Watkins Glen. What can I say?
Yeah.
It's fantastic. It's always great to be home, and I consider this home.
Really?
Yeah, I really do.
You like the muck and the gluck of this track?
I love it, and traditionally, you can always count on weather that's constantly changing.
When I lived in Vermont, this reminds me of being in a typical New England summer day. It's the 1st of June. It's a Friday. Sun's trying to peek out behind the clouds. High ceiling now. A little bit of breeze. We had a little bit of little rain this morning, but you were just out there for that last session. You said you had a pretty good session there.
Personally, I had a personal best with this car in this last session.
Nice.
And we're running on old tires, so I'm hoping for a whole lot better when.
So when you go put the qualifying setup on a little while, you're going to be
exactly
mighty quick, eh?
Yeah. The one thing I got to tell you, Charlie, is Watkins Glen is a very unique place, and I'm thrilled to be here for round 3 as opposed to round 7 that we were last year. It was cold, it was wet, it was so cloudy. They actually called the race on one of them, and it just wasn't really the best of dynamics. This weekend, we are set for a rockin' good time.
It is, and with all the different elevation changes, do you guys feel that on the track around here at all?
Well, that's one of the great things about the way Dougie engineered the spec series. That rear wing is absolutely in full play coming up through those S's. Last year, when I was here, I did not have the wing, and it was a mandated, unless you were insane and a kamikaze pilot, it was a mandated breath on the throttle coming up through those S's, and now you're flat right on through.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Now, see, to me, the benchmark photo of Watkins Glen, in my opinion, is coming up with that S into that quick right-hander as you come up the hill, and you kind of go back into the back section. To me, that is Watkins Glen. That's when I think of Watkins Glen. That's the photo I always have in the top of my head.
That is the quintessential identity of Watkins Glen,
okay.
Those S's, and I agree. I couldn't agree with you more, Charlie.
So you're having a blast with this series, needless to say. Not just because you're the driver development guy, but because you just love racing, and guys like you who are full-time businessmen who can go, I call them weekend warriors, can go to a track like this and just let it out and have fun.
And you're having the most fun you can possibly have in a great environment. ITC, brings an entire entourage as well as full support with parts, with podiums, and every other person and every other team in the paddock that's not running in ITC is stopping by, looking at this stuff, and is in an absolute awe over what Dougie has put together here.
We had the same problem in New Jersey. We were right there in the middle of the main drag, and everybody would pull up, they'd slow down about the time they hit our paddock, and they'd look and gawk at what Mike Bavaro's layout looked like and what Jeff Isringhausen's layout looked like. And then they came to the podium where we are, the broadcast location, the podium, the sponsors, and all the stuff. We call it the collateral that the series has out here. You feel like you're a part of something when you come out here to this.
Oh, this is definitely a place to be. It is a happening, and everybody that comes by says, my goodness, I really need to start looking towards this.
And when we were in New Jersey, we had the same thing. As you said, guys came by, they looked. We've got some folks that continue to talk to you guys about coming. So if I wanted to come run this series, how hard is it for me to bring my Porsche Cayman to ITC?
Not hard at all.
I'm already running somewhere else. Why would I want to come here?
Well, why wouldn't you want to come here? First of all, at Rolex, what we have 14 cars in our group of ITC. Strong. You're always racing with the people that are around you, and you might not always be in a collection of Caymans, but you are always in a race with the people that you're surrounded by. And with ITC, it's affording you a number of cars that are going to give you the capability to always be with another Cayman right there, and you're dicing it up. And once that helmet goes on, you're doing battle. Once the helmet comes off, you're having a beer, you're hugging and kissing each other.
You're doing business with the guys that you're hanging out with.
Exactly. It's wonderful.
I think Dougie Livingston said it earlier this morning. There's a huge, kind of an unknown that's a huge variable here that's kind of doesn't get enough press, and I think that's something we really need to stress this weekend is you guys have contingency prizes every race weekend. There's guys that are walking around here this weekend that are here. They're spending a lot of money to play and have fun and to race. But when they go home, they don't really have anything to show for the weekend on the fact that they have a really neat sticker on the car and they can say, hey, look at me, this is what I did. But you guys have something that these guys can take home for racing hard.
Right. Everybody else is putting their video card in their office when they get back on Monday morning. The guys that hang out at the water cooler with them are looking at their videos on their laptops or on their computers in their offices, and they're all saying, wow, that's very cool. But that's about as far as it goes. When you're running with ITC, not only are you having a great race weekend with everything and all the support that goes with it, but what you've also got is the contingency dollars, just like you said. Last year, a perfect example is our first year out was Tim Fox. Tim Fox, in all of his contingencies, I think Dougie was saying something to the tune of $30,000.
Holy crap!
Was laid out. Now, you can't tell me that anybody in this paddock, all 277 cars, and all the teams that are here are going home with anywhere near that, or even as much as a set of tires.
And all you have to do is just participate, do well, and we got a pole award coming. We got our next session after lunch is going to be your guys going to go out there and qualifying, and you've got a qualifier award thanks to Forge Line.
And Forge Line, thank goodness for Forge Line because my wheels are on order. They'll be in next week. What a great wheel! A lot of support for the series. But think about it, $500 check for the guy that,
just to go
whether
fast.
It's P1 or P2, not too shabby, huh?
I could get paid to go fast. Wow, what a concept, huh?
Yeah, really. You're not going to get paid the same dollars that the guys that are running, Spencer Pompelli and Andy Lally and all those guys are.
I don't want to bring up a bad thing here, but you're the P2 class leader right now in points.
Correct.
You had a little bit of a stumble at New Jersey.
Oh, no, it wasn't a stumble. It was a full-on break.
Okay, well, so my question to you is, you, Charles Bilardo, Ralph Marr are going to be gunning for each other pretty hard this weekend.
Hey, like I said before, Charlie, in the paddock, we're all good friends and we're drinking beers and having a great time and breaking bread together. Once the helmet goes on, it's every man for themselves.